Welcome to this painting tutorial. Today we're going to paint an Angels of Redemption Space Marine. It's a split scheme from the Dark Angels successors, and we are going to leave the backpack off because it makes everything much easier. We're going to start with Caliban Green, and we're going to paint only half of this. If you want to save time, you can use the spray can of Angels Green from the Army Painter. Now, I don't bother with the entire Space Marine with this because we're going to paint half anyway, but I do want to make sure that more than half is covered so that there's no little hole or gap in between. The easiest way to do split schemes is to start with a color that's easier to fix. So green is much easier to fix than beige. That's why we're starting with the green. And then we also do the backpack. We don't want to forget it. And we're going to highlight this with Warpstone Glow. And we're going to be very delicate with this because we want to keep this Dark Angel green to it. We don't want to go the full salamander color, so very light. If you go too light, don't worry, you can mask out with a shade or anything, or maybe you just enjoy them lighter than the classic Dark Angel green. That is perfectly fine too. Make sure your backpack fits with the Space Marine. Next step is the daunting process of masking, and for the sake of this video, we are going to speed run through this because it takes forever. Just be careful, take your time, and as you can see, if you have a gun stuck on there or a weapon stuck on there, it is much harder to do, so if it's possible, leave those out, but it's not the end of the world if there are. So we are going to start spraying with Leather Brown from the Army Painter. Next, we highlight this with Skeleton Bone. A lot of people like a super white color. I don't. I like the bone color to stay bone and not fully white. If you want one of those almost white color, just go very heavy with this step. It is fine. And then you can add even more white in the next step of highlighting. Next, we will begin the ASMR satisfying process of removing the tape. Try to take a mental note of where there are mistakes and our lines are not perfectly straight so that we can fix them. And we won't bother with the backpack thingy because we can fix that later. So we go back with our Caliban Green or Angel Green to do the fixing. And next we will use Warpstone Glow to highlight the parts that we just fixed and also add some edge highlights for extra crispiness. If you want to save more time, you don't need to do this. I like to add it because it adds, again, more crispiness and gives us a more finished look. Even if it's the same color that we airbrush with, because we're applying it with a brush, it now gives us a much more vibrant color. Next, we're going to do the exact same highlighting process with Skeleton Bone. If you went super heavy, now you could use white or an even lighter tone of bone to get your highlights, but I like Skeleton Bone. Again, taking our time and adding some highlights. I don't do every single edge when I highlight. I just pick and choose the ones I like to bring some more contrast there. We're also going to highlight the backpack that I totally did not forget. And we're going to ignore the little circle thing in the middle. We're going to fix that later. Next, we take Mephiston Red and we're going to paint the chest, the little eagle thingy. Mephiston Red covers really well, and we are going to highlight this with Evil Sun's Scarlet. You don't need to be too dainty with this highlight. The shading will take care of it. And then we are going to paint the Purity Seal in red because that is also a thing that we need to do. For the rest of the seal, we're going to use Steel Legion Drab. You can use Leather Brown again, but Steel Legion is almost the same color and covers really, really well. And we're going to highlight this with skeleton bone, and we're painting our highlights in horizontal lines. That way it can mimic a little bit the effect of text without us having to draw some wacky letters. So this gives us a cool little look. Next, we're going to take lead belcher and we're going to paint the weapons or every metallic part. Because this is speed painted, we're not going to mix and match metallics. Every metallic color we are going to do silver. We're also going to take care of that little circle thingy in the back of the backpack to make the back of the miniature a little bit more interesting. Next, we're going to use Black Legion. It's a contrast paint, but it really isn't. It's black paint. And we're going to paint all the vents and the joints and everything. You want to use a little brush and you want to hold your breath and, you know, sacrifice a chicken if you have to. You want to be precise here because we want to avoid touch-ups. Next, we take Rhinox hide and we paint all the little pouches and the tactical thingamabobs on the belt. We're also going to paint the handle on the gun again, just to add a little bit of something interesting on the gun. Our brown, we're going to highlight with Scrog Brown. This is going to be a very rough highlight, but we're going to take care of this with the shading afterwards, so you don't need to be super precise here. It is going to work out at the end. Don't worry that your model is too bright at this point, because we're setting ourselves up for really nice shading, and we are going to start this with a Grox Earthshade on the red parts. We're also going to do the Purity Seal. Next, we're going to take Dark Reaper or Incubi Darkness, and we are going to highlight the black in the joints and everything. You can be pretty loose with this because we are going to shade it. If we go too light, we can shade it. And next, we're going to take Nuln Oil and we are going to shade all of the metallic parts. If we went too heavy on the black highlights, now is a good time to also shade that. So notice I didn't talk about the lenses in this entire tutorial. You can do the lenses a bunch of different ways. Again, because this is speed painting, we are using the red, the same red that we use on the rest of the mini, but feel free to use other things. We have other videos coming out about lenses. Same thing with the base, multiple options here. We went with a simple gray because it looks great with everything and it showcases our bright miniature on top of it. So we don't want a super bright base, we want something that will showcase the cool scheme that's on top. I hope you like this new style of video. Let me know, maybe I'll try to make more like this. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed and found this useful, be sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments if there's anything else you would like me to talk about. I make all of these videos based on the questions from you guys.